Okay, so let's get the Forager 4.0 program onto your XP-Deus 2 remote. So turn it on, and just to remind you all again, you will need one of the new firmware versions. So whether it's 4.0 or 4.1, this program will work exactly the same. So once the remote's turned on, we can just go straight into the program menu. And we're going to be using General for the base program, exactly the same as the other Forager programs. But before we change any of the program settings, we're going to need to go into the Options tab and then into Audio. And we're going to want to change the audio filter so that it's on 2. We're also going to want to go down into the equalizer, and we're going to want to change to copy all of these bands. So the first band is at 150, and that's plus 9 decibels. The second one is plus 3 decibels. The third one is also plus 3 decibels. And the last one is plus 6 decibels. So once you've copied all of those in, you can push the back button. Now go down again into the audio type. I use PWM, but feel free to put whatever audio type you want in there. For me, PWM gives you the most information about the targets. And once you've copied all of those in, you can push the back button and again, and it takes you into the program menu. And this is where we're going to start the second part. So we're going to push the menu button and change the discrimination so that it's on 12. Now go down again and use the minus button to change the silencer so that it's on 1. We're going to change the sensitivity so it's on 94. We're going to keep the frequency max at 40 kilohertz. The iron volume is going to be on 8. The reactivity is going to be on 2.5. And we're going to skip the multiprocessing for a second and go straight to audio response. And that is also going to be on 5. Now we need to go back to discrimination and push the expert button. We're going to want to change it so that it says 4 tones. Now push the expert button again and we can go through the different tone segments. So the first tone is obviously at 12. Push the downwards button and we want to change this so that it says 38. Then we want to go to the last tone break segment and change it so that it says 73. Now push the button down and down again and you'll go into the ground iron break. Use the minus key to change it so that it's on -2. Now you can push the downwards key again and go back through the tone breaks and we'll change some of the actual tones. So push the middle button and we're going to change our first ferrous tone to 197. The second tone is going to be 289. So we need to hold down the minus key and go all the way down to 289. Now we can go to the third tone break. And this needs to be 637. And then we go to the fourth tone break, and that's going to be our super high conductive tone, and that's going to be 961. Now all of the tones are set up. All we need to do is just change the volumes. So go back to tone break number 1, push the middle button again, and this volume is going to be on 8. Push the downwards key. The next one is also going to be on 8. And then all of the others can stay at max volume of 10. Now once all of those are set up, push the backwards button, go down through the expert settings and put the bottle caps on 3. Great for big iron identification, especially iron rings in the ground. Push the middle button again. And we're going to put a slight notch on here, which is going to help with some coke. It's the only thing this is notching out. So to do that, we need to push the expert settings and change it so that it says tone break 1 by pushing the middle button, moving the cursor all the way up, so that it says 24. And then once it says 24, push the middle button again, and now change that segment so that it says 29. So the notch, push the back button, will be 24 to 29. And then push the middle button again. You can see that we're back to tones, but we've already changed all those, so we don't have to do anything at all. Push the backwards button again. And now we're going to go into the final part of the Forager 4.0 program, which is the multi-processing. So to do that, we need to go down through the menu until you get to multi-proc. Now, when it says multi-proc, you just need to go into preset number 2, because we're going to do a modified version of preset number 2. So once you're in there, push the expert button and make sure channel 2 says discrim. Now go down, make sure the stereo spread is on 0. And then going down again, we're going to want to make sure that the effects is off for channel 1 and on for channel 2. And yours should say effects 2 for channel 2. Now we need to change the discriminations so that it says 2.5 for channel 1 and 2.5 for channel 2. Now we need to change channel 1's sensitivity to 94. Then we also need to change the sensitivity of channel 2 so that it's on 42. Now go into the volumes of each channel, and volume channel 1 is 9, but the channel 2 volume needs to drop down to 7. Now we can change the channel 2 audio type so that it says high square. So channel 1 is PWM, channel 2 is high square. Now we want to change this, so of course it's on the 4 tones that we've previously selected. Move it across to channel 2, and we want channel 2's hertz range to be a 496. So this is the high tone of channel 2. Channel 2 has 2 tones, a low ferrous tone and a high tone, and this is the high tone we've selected for channel 2, whereas previously we'd selected 961 when we set up the 4 tones. Scroll down again, and we want to match the iron there to 197, which we previously set for channel 1. But on channel 2, we want this to say 129, and that's going to give you a really nice, deep sounding polyphonic sound on iron. The iron volume, we just want that to be 8 for channel 2 and 8 for channel 1. So we're just going to match it across. And now we've completely successfully set up the Forager 4.0 program. But I'm going to leave you with this. We are using effects on 2, and that's going to apply a chorus effect when targets are very close to your coil. So the idea of this is that you're going to get the depth and the stability of the Forager program, but you're also now going to be able to tell how close you are to certain targets. And that's also going to be a benefit to you if you encounter something super high conductive, like a squashed aluminium can or something like that. It is subtle and it's not in your face, but this will be a great way to learn what multi-processing morphing does, and it will also save you a lot of time when you're going out metal detecting, because you're not having to dig so many holes and big holes and deep holes. If you know it's shallow, dig a nice shallow hole. That is how you input the Forager program onto the XP-Deus 2. Now all you need to do is just save the program in. So hit the Options tab, scroll down to Program, and then you can save it in a blank slot, and then you can save it as the Forager program. So there we go. I will let you hear a couple of demonstrations as to what this program does sound like on certain targets. And as always, I appreciate your support. Let me know what you think of it, and let me know what you find. So this is what the Forager 4.0 program will sound like on a deep ferrous item. As you can hear, we know that it's deep because the morphing effect is telling us that we're only getting the PWM sound. So we're able to instantly know whether this ferrous item is deep or shallow. And this is what it will sound like on a ferrous item that's quite close to the top or large. As you can hear, it now has a polyphonic sound for iron items that are relatively close to the coil or just close to the top. So this is what the Forager program will sound like on a mid-conductor. Take a listen. As you can hear, no effects going on there whatsoever. The mid-range is left totally clean and unchanged of any morphing effect, but still giving you a very deep response from targets. And this is what a high conductor is going to sound like on the Forager 4.0 program. Sounds pretty normal, but as we move closer to the target, you'll hear the morphing. It's very subtle, but it's telling us that we've got a high conductive target close to the top. And as we pull away, just your normal Forager PWM. So there you go, guys. That is how simple it is to put the brand new Forager 4.0 program onto your XP Deus 2. Now, as always, I love to hear your feedback, so please let me know how you're getting on with the program and what you think about it down below in the comments. And don't forget, if you've appreciated this video and the work I put into making these programs, then do hit that thumbs up button as well. However, that's it for me. I'll hopefully be out metal detecting next time. Good luck, and of course, I will see you on the next hole.